your end from this thing?
No.
Data is the DNA of any business. At National List Services, we focus on one ideal. We offer marketing solutions that fit. We're not interested in selling you data. We're interested in selling you the primary solution to the problem you have today. As a data broker and aggregator, we have access to the top data sets and know where everyone is getting their data from. We identify your demand, the needs of what your customers are, where people are in life, what stages they find themselves in, and their backgrounds that most fit your necessity level. National List Services looks for a long-term solution to what your data needs are, and more importantly, we will educate you on the industry, what to ask other data sources, what to look for, and what to say. Our job is ethics-oriented and getting you what you need right now when it comes to data. Book a call with us today at nationallistservices.com.
Good afternoon. John and Audrey here with you. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, we're doing great across the room. So
across the room.
Yeah, no,
a few steps away.
Yeah, no, it's been nice around here for sure. I mean, it's been sunshine, not the dreariness. Still got some snow on the ground, but it's definitely brought up the spirits or whatever.
Outside this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, it feels like there's a lot of momentum kind of growing too. I know everyone's kind of getting out of the holiday season and finally everyone's finally getting back and getting in a rhythm and getting rolling and stuff too. So that's been exciting to see just from this perspective, but also just from a sales perspective too. It's been awesome to see that people are really starting to re-engage.
Yes. I was going to say, that being said, time to talk business, right?
That's right.
Perfect. So today, one of the points we're going to cover is how to advertise to maybe your local business area. So sometimes people who have a local business offering a service, they might want to advertise locally. They're not international. They're not national. We're fortunate enough that with technology, phones and computers, we're national. But some people, it's like there's their zip code or their county. So we're going to focus on that today and show how to consistently advertise in your local business. I want to make sure I cover all the points. And we're going to cover consistency, getting the right list, and then how to execute on that list. Because sometimes the execution is the issue, right, John?
Right. So where did this come from? So that's kind of what I wanted to ask you real quick is, we tend to reach out to people and just say, hey, is there a topic that you want us to cover and really get into the data side of what it is that we do, one of the core offerings here at First Direct for what it is that we do. So where did this come from, Audrey? Actually, before we answer that question, so if you're hopping on Clubhouse, I know I invited a few people here, but obviously if you're already on YouTube, fantastic. That's the place to go to actually respond to us, ask questions.
Yes.
If you want us to cover something specifically here, go ahead and do that. If you're hopping on Clubhouse and you want to ask a question, so we know Clubhouse has been a very cool collaborative environment for people to actually discuss. If you want to ask a question of me and Audrey as we dig into the data and the right list, because that's what we're all about here, just go ahead and make sure that you text JOIN, JOIN, to 402-285-3282. Again, that's text JOIN to 402-285-3282. And that's going to get you right over to the link for YouTube where you can actually engage with us while we're doing that. All right. That being said, that out of the way, what brought this on? What's the question that brought this on?
That's where it came from. Somebody said join, and I said, perfect. He's a business owner. And I said, is there anything you need help with right now? I'm not sure if this is going to be exactly helpful to his specific scenario, but it gave us a topic to cover, which is advertising consistently with your local business area. So I'm working real quick. I should have had this ready. I'm uploading a file so that we can run this actual in our county. Let me see if I can get this going. So on our system, if you already have a CRM or a customer file, you can upload it and get fresh data. So that's a huge step. That's what I'm doing right now on the side here. Sorry.
So as she pulls that up, I want to make sure that we cover, we're going to hit 3 quick points about how you can get consistent leads. And where we're coming from when we talk about this is one main point that we're really bringing home is that's consistent leads means that you are consistently marketing with high quality data. You have to be the one that's out there. So certainly you can go buy leads from somebody else, but remember, if you're doing that, you're not controlling what you're actually the customer experience is going along there. So if you want consistent leads, if that's what your desiring, is if that's what you're looking for, you have to remember that you have to be, as a business owner, the one that's in control of the message, the messaging, and helping people walk down that customer journey. That is critical and crucial if you're going to own the space and truly thrive as a business. So that's where we're coming from when we dig into this. There's going to be a little bit of philosophical points here, but also actually digging into some of the tactile stuff of exactly how you can use our system in order to make sure you can get consistent leads.
Exactly. So I handle this system. I'm getting this ready. So I'm going to share. I'm going to use our county as an example, because what if you're offering your services locally, you have a area you want to cover, whether that's a radius, zip codes, or county. I'm going to show this real quick. There's a few different business files. So knowing what you want, knowing how you're going to execute is helpful. If it's email, one of the business files doesn't have emails. If it's high-end executives you're looking to find or business owners, DMB targets that exactly. If you want to reach companies who, like for us, we offer marketing services. If they're already advertising and they're in the yellow pages, they're on the Info USA file, which is now Data Axle. I got to get used to that. Data Axle. So they're already spending money to help their business grow and get attention. So clearly better to reach out to. So for today's example, I'm going to use Data Axle, and let me share my screen here. Make sure I know how to do this. Every week, John, I apologize.
No, it's all good. Well, she's pulling that up too. Just remember that this is all about, when we're starting here, what she talked about, the geography of where specifically that you're at, whether you're going into a business file, if that's what you're looking for consistent leads, or it's a consumer file. This is all comes down to the one main point for what she's talking about, and that's starting with the right list.
Yes, I was just.
So that's what we're digging into right here. So now she brought it up. Take us through it.
We're going to start with our geography. Like I said, you could pick anything that's local to you. I'm going to search all the counties, and I'm going to pick Sarpy. So here's Sarpy County. So I'm going to select that. Business type, you can drill down. If you know certain industries you service, great, pick those. You could pick HVAC, construction, whatever it is that you specialize in for your service that you help people with. In this case, I'm just going to get all the local businesses. Because I want to canvas my entire local area. So I'm just going to not pick any business type here. If you want to, business code, SIC code, you can look up. It gives you a nice tree. SICcode.com tells you more about these, so you can really drill down. But business selections is where I kind of want to head. If you want to target small businesses, there's a small business flag. You could also pick by employee size. You can pick by sales volume, which sometimes is an indicator of the size of the business. Maybe it's 4 people, but they are doing 10 million in business. Maybe that's not your ideal target. So again, knowing who you're trying to reach. But the hypothetical is canvassing the whole county. So I'm not really going to select anything except for how I want to execute. For this one, I am going to select telephone, which is on the next screen. And let's do email flag here. So I'm going to pick email. And then on the top here in this file, there's phones and contacts. This is, you can pick by title under business selections. But here on phones and addresses, I want to point this out. Again, each file is different. So that's why I want to show the details. It's part of why we do the walkthrough and the data selection here to get the right list. You could pick a list with 100% phones and 100% contacts. You're going to get someone's name to call on that. Or you can get 100% phones and a contact name where available. This is going to give you a few more records, because every business, for the most part, 99.9 have a phone. Because how are you going to do business if you don't have a phone number? So it's kind of implied that that phone number is there. So basically you need to pick, do I want to have a name or not? So I'm going to pick contacts where available and continue here. And that's it. That's all I really need. One per or all per. You can get everybody at the business, or you can get one person. I think the default is 1 per site. I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to show how many there are. So my right list in this case to canvas my whole county and reach out to every business on this list. Again, full transparency. This is not every single business. This is what's on this list, what's on this file, what's available. It's 3,865 records. So let me say, hypothetically, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to do my phone calls to it. I'm going to come back when I'm worked through it. Now it could be in 3 months, that could be in 6 months. It's however long it takes you. And then you're going to come back and refresh it. That's part of getting these consistent records and making a constant reach out to your area. What you could do is take your original order and suppress it. So if it's been within a year, you can suppress orders. It'll be there. You can just click it and it's quick and easy. I have a video on that in our Learn Center. But in this case, I think it's been more than a year. So I uploaded it. So I'm going to go to suppress uploads. Here we go. And I'm going to look up my upload here. And I know I just did it. I'm going to do that. Add selected codes. And I'm going to recalculate. Sometimes it lets you get a total right away. There we go. I'm glad it did, because sometimes you have to run your count report. If it needs to run and chew through that data and really get that number. This means that out of my original list and what's current right now in Bellevue in the Sarpy County, I have 1,800 new records to reach out to that weren't on my original list. So this is how I would keep current with my data, get this list and work it next. This is my local business territory that I need to reach out to. And you can do that with anything. I know for real estate agents, they want to reach out to people who are buying or selling in the area. It could be 100 a month. It could be 300 a month, but we can come back and refresh and get fresh data always with this suppression option. So now that we have the right list, how are you going to reach out? How are you going to execute? John, you want to cover that for us on execution of your campaigns?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that, again, we talked about at the beginning of this is consistent leads means that you're consistently marketing with high quality data. So she's walking you through, number one, knowing the right list, finding that right list for you, exactly who you need to be targeting, and getting that data pulled into the marketing. Here's a couple different stats for you, depending on where you go, where you look up, depending on whether you're business to business or business to consumer. Salesforce says it takes 6 to 8 touches to generate a viable sales lead. That isn't even talking about creating the sale. That doesn't talk about how you need to nurture that lead through their customer journey as well. That just simply means going from a prospect to a lead. It's 6 to 8 touches to generate a viable sales lead. And that's true of some of the other ones too. I saw 10 to 16 in some cases. And then what are touches really? And this, for our training that we go through Cardone University with under the umbrella of First Direct here is, just on a sales call alone, it's going to take 5 to 12 to get 80% of the sales done by phone, because that's one of the most cost-effective ways to really get out there and one of the things that you can control the most. But as far as the marketing message, when we look at some of the stats in the sales cycles for some of these folks, we're talking 6 months, 12 months, maybe even a year and a half in some cases or longer, right?
Right. Long sales cycles. Yeah, that can happen.
And so even in some of the shorter sales cycles, you're still talking about, having to reach somebody. I saw one that was a rule of 10, at least 10 touches in some form or fashion. You're calling, you're leaving a voicemail, you're sending them an ad. They happen to type in something that corresponds to your website's blog. They go on to your blog because of the SEO you have. That's also another way to make sure that you're getting the touch out there. And then you have a follow me campaign where you're actually sending them, a pixel that follows them on Facebook or retargets them on other ad platforms or other blogs or anything else that's out there as far as inventory for advertising space. It's going to take a lot. It really does. In order for you to really be top of mind, you're not just competing against, just some other person who sells the same product. You're competing against all the noise. And if there's anything 2020 showed us, is that you can have a whole year full of just noise, right? And so how do you break through all of that? How do you break through? How do you crush Santa during the Christmas season, right? How do you dominate him, right? And it comes down to how many touches. And that's really what it comes down to. So if you're going to take hold and take responsibility for your marketing, you have to understand that you want not just to be able to reach out and have an impression via one channel. You want to have multiple channels that you're doing that to maximize the amount of touches, to be top of mind with a consistent message overall. And really that what you're doing is you're investing in your customers' experience with you. You're helping to invest in the nurturing aspect of what it is that you do for them and showing them why your product is necessary for them to be able to buy.
Yes. And can I add, even with national list services with this list, maybe you have a local printer you're connected with. If not, reach out, ask us. We have connections with print and mail. So with the list you get from us, you could do a postcard and then a follow-up phone call because you have the contact name, their address. What's fabulous about the list I was building just a minute ago, you can get the physical address so you know where they're located. And on that list, it'll give you the mailing address. So you know exactly how to reach out to them, where they are, but where they get in their mail. If only we could get that for consumer. I'm sure there's an option, but it's great for that business list. So even if you're keeping it simple, keeping it local, you can do a postcard, print, and mail, and then follow up with a phone call. Or when we're able to, a door-to-door visit, popping in to say hello or bringing a coffee.
Well, there's a whole other opportunity out there. Even if you're local, there's ways that you can make sure that you get direct access to a cell phone, their mobile device data that's out there. You can get into their Hulu, their connected TV, their Roku device, their Chromecast. Like, you really can build a whole. I mean, you could just take the data that we have and you can put it directly into an advertising campaign and just upload that data as a custom audience and really go after those specific people, even on Facebook, even wherever else that you need to. And because it's very specific, it also allows you to have the information to do a multi-touch campaign, a multi-channel campaign where you can do multiple things and really be everywhere. Because in this day and age, again, that's what it takes.
John, real quick, without nerding out too much, talk about that connected TV, because I didn't know what that was till we bought a TV that had this on it. So tell a little bit, like in 2 minutes, can you tell them about that?
Well, I can do faster than that. Just think about the next time that you're just trying to relax at home and you turn on a Chromecast device, a Hulu, and you get that one commercial that pops up and you're like, oh, great. This insurance commercial, I got to sit here for the next 10 seconds, 15 seconds until it goes away. Then there's going to be another one. It's a commercial break. I cut the cable. I'm paying for this, all that good stuff. Well, yeah, guess what? If your message is really that important, you don't have to go to the big networks that are out there. You can still just deliver it directly to those places and be very specific. You can go house by house in order to do that in your local market. That's really the power of connected TV.
That's why I said don't geek out with the nerd magic, because it's so cool. Because before it used, we all hear about Super Bowl commercials and how much they cost, and only certain companies are able to compete in that space. Well, what about your local? Do you have radio ads? You could do the connected TV. It's so cool. Then one of our gas stations we go to, they have the screen over the gas pump that plays stuff while I'm getting gas. Same idea. You can service your ads there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
There are so many options. And so that's why we kind of wanted to geek out on that for a few minutes, because if you're thinking there's only 4 ways to reach out to these people, we want to let you know there are more than a few ways. And come to us if you need help with that, finding out more about it, finding out how much it costs, finding out your options. Let us know. We can help you.
Absolutely. And I'll say it this way, we're priced very competitively. We don't compete on price. We really just deliver that overall value. It is fantastic, the value that we're going to be able to deliver. But if you're a price conscious small business that's doing a lot of things locally, or even if you're a medium-sized business, these things are perfectly priced for you. And you may not even know that these options are available to you. And that's why we're talking about it right now, why we're kind of getting into it, because those are really important to at least explore on how you can be everywhere, even in your local market.
Yes. See what the options are. Be educated. So the last point we want to cover is kind of practical. And I think sometimes due to excitement or wanting the full value's worth, how much data do you really need? How when it comes to specifically the list we were building and reaching out, if you were making phone calls personally and your business is small, realize how much time you have and what you're willing to dedicate to it. Get the correct amount of data at the right time. So let's say that universe we had was 1,800 records and you're a 2-person shop and you're doing half the work. Your marketing efforts only take up 2 hours of your day. Do not buy 1,800 records and then chew through that for 6-8 months. Now, given business data does not change too quickly. Residential, obviously, yes. Business is a little bit more stable. But considering the economy and timing, but get what's a workable amount of data. What's great with our system is you can build that universe and order 300 out of it. And the next time you come back, you can use that suppression option I was showing and suppress out your first order. So you get 300 new fresh records. Get what you can handle. Only get as much as you can eat. Right, John? We were talking about that. How many bites does it take to eat the elephant? Hey, you got the elephant. We got the universe. but let's take a chunk of this at a time in a manageable fashion so that you don't get frustrated with your marketing efforts and your data stays good and clean and up to date.
Yep. And you certainly got to be on your sales game all the time, but you also need to make sure that you're spending enough time and resources and money on the marketing side of it to be everywhere, even in your local strategy that you might have, still on your game when it comes to sales. But when it comes to turning the spigot on or off, when it comes to marketing, that's one of the great things about the data that we can have. I mean, in your car, and it's like having, a machine, a vehicle that you are building, and you're just upgrading it. You're putting turbochargers on it. Like you're building just a well-oiled machine when it comes to your business. And for us, it's just the data side of it. It's just coming back every time that the gas tank is empty. You come back and you get more data, and then you start running it through the system again. And then you come back
before it's empty. Before it's empty.
before it's empty. Of course, you don't want to run out of gas, right?
No.
Yeah.
Make sure you still got something next Monday to call on.
Yep.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
So we hope this helped. We hope this wasn't overwhelming. We'd love to take any questions you might have that are specific for your industry, if this is something that concerns you. But again, if you want to know more about different options for marketing, I know when we get calls in or we're trying to work with somebody, we ask them, hey, what has worked before? What have your competitors in your area that you've seen and be like, I want to do that, but I just don't know how. Ask us. We're willing to ask you the questions and work with you to find out what will work best to get your audience the right message at the right time.
That's right.
And give you some attention.
That's right. All right. So we talked about, hey, this is how you can get consistent leads for your local business, even if you're doing business to business or business to consumer. We talked about starting with the right list, why you need a multi-touch campaign, how many touches it's going to take, and then making sure you're consuming the data that you realistically can handle and making sure you're on your sales game.
Yes.
And you're marketing the way that you need to be marketing.
Yes. And as always, let us know. We have our Facebook page for National List Services. We have YouTube. You can reach out and see these recordings there. Email us, Audrey at First Direct Marketing, or Payne, Payne, at First Direct Marketing. There are so many ways to find us and reach us. Please let us know how we can help you.
And last bit here, if you catch this video, you watch us through all the way, and you want to catch us on YouTube the next time, make sure that you go ahead and text JOIN, JOIN, to 402-285-3282. Again, that's text JOIN to 402-285-3282. Make sure you click the notifications. Make sure you click the subscribe. That way, the next time that we go live, you'll be ready to go.
Yes.
You can also look us up and follow us on Clubhouse if you just want to listen along. That's great. If you want to engage, let's make sure that you get that YouTube link, that you tune in, and you can ask any questions that you want.
And last thing that's very important, if you want to get on nationallistcounts.com and start playing around, building a list, seeing what your options are, you can go to start.nationallistcounts.com and you can get signed up for videos that show you. I mentioned at the beginning, each file has its own different assets and selections. The videos I have there go through each one so you can see what your options are, how to use the system effectively, how to order so you get the right outputs, and then self-service. So we're trying to help you along the way to handle every step of the game. So Go to start.nationallistcounts.com to check out that video learning center. Right. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for joining us. If you're watching this on the replay, send us an email. Let us know what was valuable, what you liked, what we could do better.
Awesome.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.